Parshas Vayetzei. In Parshas Vayetzei, the Torah places an emphasis on the fact that Yaakov Avinu left. That Yaakov Avinu left, and we know the medrash that says that when a tzaddik leaves a place, it makes a reishim, it makes an impression. Pana hadara, pana ziva, the glory of the city is left. But we see specifically by Yaakov Avinu that the Torah makes mention, specifically puts an emphasis on the fact that he left. Other avos, Avraham Avinu, also left. But here the Torah is teaching us something, specifically by Yaakov Avinu. In addition to the fact that when a tzaddik leaves, it makes an impression. Because that lesson could have been taught when Avraham Avinu left. That could have been taught earlier. The Torah is teaching us this lesson specifically here by Yaakov Avinu, apparently because there is another dimension to Yaakov Avinu's leaving. Vayetzei Yaakov, he left. And perhaps the explanation is that Yaakov Avinu left and now is starting a new chapter in his life. Yaakov Avinu left never to return as the Yaakov Avinu that he was. And Yaakov Avinu's leaving signifies another dimension in the tafkid of the children of Yaakov Avinu, of our tafkid, of the tafkid of Bnei Yisrael. Prior to Yaakov's leaving, he was an Ishtam Yeshiva Holim. He dwelt in the Dalet Amos of Halacha, immersed in Torah Yom V'Layla, not having to contend with the evil forces that were around him. But that changed. That changed when his mother, Rivka, was mitzvah him to get the bracha. And then he had to contend with Esav. And now this begins the new chapter in his life where he has to leave. Where he has to leave and begin this battle. The battle with the Koichas Hara, the battle with Lavan, the battle with Sorah Shel Esav, the battle with Esav, to fight them. To maintain his sitkis, to maintain his purity, to maintain his tmimis, even in the face of this battle, this struggle with the Rishoyim, with a direct confrontation with his Rishoyim. And therefore Yaakov Avinu, when he leaves, he davens and he cries out to the Rebbeinu Shalom, V'shavti b'sholem, if I will come back in peace. And Rashi says, B'li chet, if I will be able to succeed. And he was worried that he wouldn't be able to succeed to stand up to this rishus and still maintain his tzidkis. And the Rebbeinu Shalom gives him a bracha, Ushmarticha. I will protect you, I will guard you. And we know the Medrash says that prior to him coming to Beis Lavan, he was 14 years in the Beis Medrash of Shem Ve'aver as a preparation, as a achona, to prepare himself for this epic battle. And Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky Zatzal explains that he specifically wanted to learn and had to learn in the Beis Medrash of Shem Ve'aver. Why wasn't it enough, the Torah that he had, that he brought from his father's home, the Messiah that he had from his father's home? No, he had to learn these 14 years in the yeshiva of Shem Ve'aver because they were the tzaddikim who contended with the Dor HaMabul, with the Dor HaFloga, with the evil people of the previous generations. And they had the Torah and the Messiah of how to live as a tzaddik, as an emes yid, in the face of all this rishus. And then he prepared himself 14 years, Yom V'Layla, that Beis Medrash, specifically that Beis Medrash, and then he embarked on his journey to Lavan, to battle with Lavan. And the battle with the Sorah Shel Esav, Kisarisa, and he was given the bracha by the Malach, by the Sorah Shel Esav, that he was given that bracha, Kisarisa vatuchal. You battled with im Elokim, and with mankind, v'tuchal, and you succeeded. And the Chedush Harim asked the question, well, then why didn't the Sar Shalesav call him v'tuchal? You succeeded. That's ultimately the point, isn't it? That he battled, he struggled, and he succeeded. Isn't that really the bottom line? Isn't that the significant point? He should be called v'tuchal. We should be called the successful people. We are the people so we are B'nai, we are the children of the successful one. Zok the Chedush Harim, no, the ultimate definition of success is that we struggle. Hisarisa. That defines the success. The description, the tire of Yaakov, what he became was through struggling. Imelakim and Anoshim, to struggle with him, Imelakim Anoshim, and continue to struggle in the face of that, to continue the battle against the forces of Ra, the forces of evil, to continue that battle. That's the real ultimate success. That defines our tafkid. That defines our purpose and our mission. Whether we succeed, that's in the hands of the Rebbeinu Shalom. But what defines who we are, our essence, our mahos, our tafkid, our mission is Sarisa, Yisrael. Yaakov Avinu became Yisrael, and we became B'nai Yisrael. Because that is really who and we are and what we are, the nation of those who are Sarisa, B'nai Yisrael. And that is our tafkid, which is epitomized in Vayetzei, Yaakov, and Yaakov's leaving that shelter, the confines of the Ohel, and reaching out and battling, maintaining his tzidkis in the face of rishus and overcoming, and injecting Torah, injecting Toiv, injecting Yiras Elokim into the world around us. That is our tafkid. That is who we are, B'nai Yisrael. I remember several years ago, Rav Simcha Wasserman Zatzal, he was well into his 80s, and he had a long career of building Torah in France, building Torah in America, in the early days in America, in places like Detroit and Los Angeles, places that did not yet have the Mosses of Torah of that caliber, and he built those Mosses. And when he was well advanced in his advanced years, he was building a yeshiva in Yerushalayim, Oral Chonan. And that entailed Vayetzei. That entailed traveling, leaving the comfort of his home in Yerushalayim, leaving the confines of the Beis Medrash, the Ohel, and traveling the world, trying to raise money, speaking to people, many times, most times, traveling alone, and his wife was at home. A difficult task even for a young man, but certainly for a person in his advanced age, and he had difficulty walking, difficulty climbing the stairs, and he did it all with such simcha, with such happiness, with such simcha and joy, and even though it was back-breaking work. And I asked him about it once, and he quoted the Maimar Chazal. It says, "Yoser mima sha'egel roitza linek, hapara roitza lahanik." More than the calf wants to nurse from the mother, more than that is that the mother wants to nurse the child. And he said, now don't think that only because the mother has great pain if it cannot nurse the child, physical pain. The calf has pain if it's hungry. The mother has pain if the calf is not nursing and has physical pain. But he says much more than that. What it means is that what is instilled in the mother, is to give. It's part of the essence of the mother to nurse, to nurture, to give. Even more than the calf wants to nurse for its nourishment, for its well-being. It's hungry, it wants to be satisfied. The desire for the mother to nurture, the desire for the mother to give is even stronger. And that's Klal Yisrael. The desire to give, to grow Torah, to build Torah. The desire to combat those forces of Ra by injecting Torah and Yiras Shamayim into the world. That is so strong. That's part of our being. That's part of our makeup. That's our mandate, our mission. And therefore we go out. Vayetzei. We leave the comforts. We leave the confines. We leave the Daled Amos Shel Halacha and undertake these difficult, arduous tasks of traveling the world, even in advanced age, to fulfill this mission of Vayetzei Yaakov, and to become Yisrael, Kisarisa, to become Yisrael.